like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Hey guys, and welcome to otro episodio with Jasmin Izaguirre, which is me, of course. And we are back with another Thirsty Thursday video. Yes, finally, this is episode number 2. As you guys know, I didn't post one last week because I am not going to be posting every Thursday. I'm just going to be posting like randomly whenever I have like a good topic to talk about. So now, before we get into the topic, let's go ahead and talk about the drink that we are going to be drinking today. Since this drink is something that I'm personally making, I am going to show you guys a clip here really fast of how I made it. So as you guys can see here, I have a few ingredients. Of course, all of this is needed to make the drink that I will be drinking today. We have some pineapple juice, the main alcohol in this drink, which is bucana. You can find this at any liquor store. And we have a few more things to add, which is some tajin. Of course, you need some type of glass. And then, as you guys can see on this plate, we have some chamoy. So now to make the actual drink, we're gonna go ahead and take our glass. We're gonna go ahead and coat it with the chamoy. So now for this part right here, I know you guys are gonna come at me hella crazy because I could have been more professional about this part. I just didn't have an extra plate and I wasn't trying to run upstairs to go get one. So I am just tapping on the tajin over the plate. A smarter person would have had another plate with tajin and we would have just like ran the rim into the tajin, but that's not what I did. Okay, now that you have the tajin on the cup and the chamoy, we are adding some ice cubes. You want your drink to be cold, so this is what we're doing. Now that you have added the ice cubes, we are gonna start off by preparing the drink itself. We are adding some bucana. I personally recommend that you measure it in a shot glass and you add a shot. But everyone has different preferences when they make their alcoholic beverages. If you want to do a double shot, if you want to put the whole bottle, or if you're like me and you like your drink to be extra fruity, I'm just eyeballing it. I'm gonna add this much bucana. This is probably a little bit for the amount of juice that I'm pouring, but I don't care. Okay, I'm drinking it, so I'm gonna make it like this. This is basically it, you guys. It's just some bucana and the majority is pineapple juice. I believe you can use orange juice as well, but for me, it tastes better with pineapple juice. And to top it off and make it a little cuter, we're gonna sprinkle some tajin on top. And as you guys can see, this is our pineapple bucana drink. This is a signature drink for me. I learned how to make this drink from my cousins. They are the ones that I usually drink with. So this is not something that I came up by myself. But if you guys were to say what drink represents Jasmine, then it is bucana and pineapple. That is like my go-to drink. So I hope that you guys are able to create this. And I hope that if you do create it, that you guys enjoy it as well. All right, guys. So this is our drink. As you guys can see, looks very good. It's very delicious. So if you guys, I hope that little clip was helpful so you guys can create it, whether it's this time if you guys have the ingredients, which I don't think everybody has bucana at their house right now, but you can definitely do it in the future for our next Thirsty Thursday. So let's get into it, you guys. This is the 4th time that I'm filming this video because you guys don't understand how hard it was. Like, I just couldn't. I felt like I was rambling in every video. I had to like come back and get my thoughts together and make sure that I just didn't ramble, because I was editing this video last night and I realized there was so much things that just didn't even make sense. So I had to sit down with you guys once again and film this video for the last time. Hopefully this is the last time because it's supposed to be going up today. So let me hurry up here. All right, so to get into it really fast, today's topic on Thirsty Thursday is called accepting and moving forward. Okay, so when I came up with this topic, it was about 2 weeks ago. Now it's been 2 weeks ago. I was laying in bed, I was reflecting on my life, I guess you can say. And I feel like over the past years, so for those of you who don't know, I am 21 years old. So I'm going through that adulting phase. And if you're 21 or if you're around my age, then you know what I'm talking about. If you're older, then you've been through it. If you're younger, then you're gonna be going through it. But I am adulting right now. So, I lost my train of thought. So for the past few years, for the past 3 years to be exact, so much has changed in my life, and I'm pretty sure you guys can relate. Like, when you're adulting, so much happens that it feels like a whole bunch of rocks are like just falling on you. Like, you feel like, what in the world is going on? It's like they say, like, you're thrown out into the real world. Like, you know, you're so used to, you know, living under your parents' roof, like living under their wings, you know, like they're taking care of you, and then all of a sudden you're an adult yourself and you're just like, somebody's calling. So again, in the past 3 years, aside from the fact that I'm adulting and like everything is changing, some tragedies have happened in my life as well. One of them being, if you guys don't know, if you guys are new to the channel, or yeah, if you guys don't really know me, then you might not know that I lost my dad 3 years ago. I don't really want to get into too much detail because I will be doing a video specifically on that. But I did. I lost my dad 3 years ago, back in 2016. I was 18 at the time, just about to graduate from high school. So, you know, being at that age and losing a parent, it was devastating. Like, it was one of the hardest things I think I'll ever experience. You know, like, death is one of the hardest things you can ever experience. And then to top it off, it was a parent, you know, my parent. And then so that happened, and it just like it was like a big piece of my heart was just ripped out. Like, it was ripped out of my chest. Like, I just wouldn't wish it on anybody. Like, let's just put it that way. I wouldn't wish death, especially of a parent, on even my worst enemy. Like, never. And I'm also not the only child, so I do have a younger sister who also had to go through the same thing of losing a parent. And imagine, she was even younger. So I felt like, you know, on top of my heart, like half of my heart being ripped out of my chest, I really had to fill in this role of that older sister. You know, I had to be that older sister. I had to be that shoulder to cry on for my sister. I had to be that cushion to let her know that everything was going to be okay. If you're an older sibling, then you know how that is. You have to take care of your younger siblings. You want to be like that also kind of motherly figure while also being a sister. If you know, you know. So in the beginning of this experience, I didn't really show a lot of emotion. Just kind of acted like nothing ever happened for the first few months. It didn't hit me. Like, I didn't cry a lot. Like, I was numb. I was kind of numb to it. It wasn't until maybe a year after his passing that it all hit me at once. Like, the emotions, everything just hit me, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't accept it. At this point, I was like, wait, you know, my dad is not here. Like, what am I gonna do? A lot of my plans after graduation involved my dad. Like, you know, me moving out to Florida with him. Like, it was just so much. Like, everything after my graduation involved my dad. And all of a sudden, that was just ripped out of my life, you know? So it was very hard for me. It was definitely one of the hardest experiences that I've ever gone through. And I definitely feel like that's had like a really big impact on me. Okay, so like I was saying, I feel losing a parent is something that you never get over. You will never get over it. It doesn't necessarily get easier. You just kind of learn to accept it. And that's when this accepting and moving forward kind of comes into play. So let me tell you guys more things, and then we'll talk about accepting and moving forward. So for those of you who also don't know, I grew up with a single mother, a teenage single mother at that. So you guys already know, it was a lot of struggle. It was a lot of instability, simply because of the fact that she was a single teenage mother. So we were always constantly moving. We were constantly not only moving from house to house, but even from state to state. And then moving back here to Michigan. So we would move and then we would come back, and I was always moving schools. So I didn't have like that stability of like a group of friends. I didn't have that stability of like even being around my cousins a lot for the first few years of my life, because I was always moving. So I wasn't really part of even like the group of my cousins that were my age. So I feel like as I grew up, once I became like a teenager, once I entered high school, I made a group of friends. This group of friends, it started off with me well, I had a lot of friends, right? over the course of the years. But this specific group of friends, it started off with me and 2 other people, and then eventually it grew into like a bigger group of friends. But this group of friends meant a lot to me, and it was very close to my heart, simply because of the fact that for the first time I felt like I was in a stable place in my life. You know, I had this group of friends. We would do everything together, from going to parties to movies to the stores to each other's house, everything. You know, like a lot of our memories and our experiences started because of this group of friends. So they were very close to my heart, and I just couldn't see the day that we would all kind of leave each other. I would always talk about it like, damn, imagine the day that we're all doing our own thing and we're either married or have kids and we're not as close as we are now. And every time I would think of that, it would like literally hurt my heart. Like I would be like, no, like I cannot even think of us not being together, because we were so inseparable. Like we would do everything together, especially me and these other people. So we were always together. Like I said, we're going through this adulting stage, so now we're all grown. I don't talk to these people as much anymore, and not because of anything bad, simply because of the fact that we're all kind of doing our own lives. We're all kind of going our separate ways, so everybody's kind of doing their own thing. I mean, we still talk here and there, but you know, we're all kind of doing our own thing. So now that we're at this stage, now I understand. Now I'm at a stage where I'm more mature, and I feel like I really understand that things are gonna change. But before, I was in this mentality, like I said, I guess because I wasn't used to having this kind of stability. I was very heartbroken when we all kind of went our separate ways. I couldn't believe that we weren't going to be together anymore. It hurt my heart a lot. It was very hard. It's always been very hard for me to adapt to change, and I hate it. Like in the beginning, well, now I kind of like it a little bit more, but there was a period in time where I hated change so much. And as you grow older, you get into the stage of where you have to learn to accept and move forward if you want to have a happy life. So, you know, I've done my research a little bit. I've done my homework. As you guys know, I have my little notebook here. This is where I like write my video ideas, and specifically for this video, I have some research that I did because I was really invested in having a happier life. So I didn't mention this part. I haven't mentioned this part, but with everything that I went through, and with it being hard for me to adapt to change, and with losing my dad and all these different things, I fell into this hole. And I don't want to say it was depression, just because I feel like the word depression is kind of thrown around very loosely nowadays. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not going to diagnose myself with depression, right? But I did fall into this very dark hole where I felt like too much change was going on. It was too overwhelming. At this point, I had also moved out of my parents' house. So I'm living with my cousin now. I had moved out of my parents' house. I fell into this hole of loneliness. I felt so lonely. I felt like the world was out to get me. I felt like, why is everything bad happening to me? You know? Why is everything that I love getting taken away? Like, why? Like, I questioned God so much, you guys. Like, I questioned him. I'm like, why are you doing this to me when I'm a good person? You know, I felt like I was a good person. I wasn't mean. I wasn't like, okay, well, I mean, let's define the word mean, you know? But no, I wasn't a mean person. I wasn't bad. So I just questioned it. Like, why is everything happening to me, but I don't see the happiness? Like, where is the happiness in my life? Like, why am I not happy? Like, I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. So it was just too much. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed sometimes. Like, there was days where I would be in my room and I would be in my bed all day watching Netflix. And a part of me would be like, damn girl, you're just like being lazy. Like, people are going to think that you're super lazy. But I wasn't being lazy. I just couldn't find the energy in my body to get up, to, whoa. I couldn't find the energy in my body to kind of get up and kind of like do what I loved, do what I had to do. It was just so hard, right? Even makeup. Like, makeup is my passion. Makeup is my therapy. Makeup is my escape. Every time I'm doing makeup and hearing music, I am so relaxed. I love it. But when I was in this stage in my life, I couldn't. Like, thinking about getting up and going to do my makeup, like, for what? I just couldn't. Like, it wasn't in me. It wasn't in me to do it. So one day I woke up, and this is honestly harder to do than it sounds, because it really wasn't just one day I woke up. Multiple times I woke up and I would tell myself, you need to stop. Like, I would like talk to myself and be like, you need to stop this. You need to get up. You need to, even if it's just clean your room, you need to get up and you need to do what you need to do. You need to get up and you need to get it together. You need to get it together, because I felt like I was in this, like, I was just always sad, right? So this is where my little research kind of comes in handy. One of the things that happens when you are in this stage is you tend to play the victim. So now when I say you tend to play the victim, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing it on purpose, but you are playing the victim. You're like, why is everything happening to me? When you play the victim, you lose control of your life. It's simple and it's honest and it's true. You lose control of your life. You lose the power of your life, because it's your life. You know, if you want to be happy, you have the choice to be happy. But if you are constantly allowing yourself to feel sad, that's all you're ever gonna be. Does that make sense so far? Like, are you guys still with me so far? Because I feel like I'm not making sense again. But yeah, so you need to stop playing the victim is the first thing. Learn to accept what is. Let me tell you guys something. Life is always gonna keep going. Whether you're dead, whether you're here, whether you're in a hospital bed, whatever the case may be, life is always gonna continue with or without you. So you can plan, you can say, by this age I'm gonna do this, by this age I'm gonna do that, but life will just come and smack you in the face and be like, no honey, that's not how it works. It's not gonna be what you want. It's gonna be what I already have planned out for you. This is what's meant to happen, and learn to accept it and learn how to get through it. Do you guys get what I'm saying here? Are we still on the same page? So that was my first step that I had to do. I had to realize that I'm not the victim here. Like, I need to gain control of my life. And yes, I'm sorry, Jasmine, you lost your dad. It's horrible, but you have to accept it. Like, the way that I looked at it, or the way that I started to look at it, was, you know, first of all, this is the way God wanted him. Well, you know, that was the plan that God had for my dad's life. I'm not the only one here. You know, this is not my world. Like, I'm not the center of attention here. It's not always all about me. This is what God had planned for my dad. I wasn't the only one affected. So was my sister. So was all his family. Everybody around him was affected by it as well. But this was something that God had put into all of our lives and to his, and was like, this is what's gonna be. How are you guys gonna take this as a obstacle? How are you guys gonna take this as a lesson? What are you guys gonna do to get through it? And that's when lessons are learned. That's when you grow as a person, when you learn to accept and you learn to get through. So that happened, right? So now the second thing that comes into play when it comes to this, being in this mindset of yours, is when things don't tend to go your way. So when life doesn't tend to go the way that you planned it, you often get angry. So there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustration, and there's a lot of being defensive. So let's put it this way. God already, the way that I look at it, this is the way that I look at it. I don't know if you guys believe in God. I don't know the way that you guys think, but the way that I look at it, you have your path, right? It's not always a straight line, but you have your path, and God already has certain things in your path, certain obstacles in your path that you're gonna eventually hit, and you're eventually gonna have to learn how to grow, how to analyze, and how to get through it, right? In order to make it to the second part of your life and second obstacle, and so on and so forth. So that's how I see it. God has this thing already planned out. you don't know what God has planned out for you. So you're gonna plan. You're gonna plan. This is what I want. This is how it's gonna be by the time I'm this age. This is, by this point, I'm gonna have a career. I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna have kids by this point. You know, you're planning, but you don't know what's ahead of you. So you're kind of stuck on this mindset that you already know how your life is gonna go, but then God goes and puts this obstacle in your life. So when things don't go your way, you tend to get angry because you're like, no, that's not what was in my plans. No, I'm not gonna allow it. And let me just tell you this, it's already happening, or it already happened. So by you getting into this mindset of denial and frustration and anger, you're only gonna stay in that mindset. You're never gonna grow. You're never gonna get better. You're never gonna get happy, because you're constantly gonna be in this mindset of not wanting to move forward because things didn't go your way. So now look at it like this. If you're walking down the street and there's this big rock in front of you, you can spend many hours trying to remove that rock, or you can simply go around it. Do you guys know what I'm saying? That's how life is. Things are gonna be in your path that you're not gonna be able to get rid of. Like, it's just happening. That's the way life is. That's the way it's gonna go. And you can sit there for years and years trying to fight the fact that this is happening, and like fight the fact that things are not going your way. Or you can find a way to get around it. You can find a way to go through it. You can find a way to get over it. And that's honestly the only way that you're gonna find happiness in your life, because you choose, like I said, you choose to be happy. Happiness is a feeling, but happiness is also a choice. It's your life. It's your life. And like I said, even though there's gonna be a lot of obstacles in your life, it's your choice on how you decide to view it. You can be positive about it. You can be negative about it. If you have a negative view, everything in your life is gonna be negative. If you have a positive view, then you're gonna have a happier life. And life is so short, you guys. Life is honestly so short that the more that you are in denial about certain things, the more that you're gonna make yourself miserable. That's where I was in that stage where I was just miserable with everything. Even at my job, I was miserable. I hated everything about it. I hated everything about everything. Like, honestly, I was very miserable. A lot of people close to me, a lot of friends might have not noticed it, because I'm always cracking jokes. I'm always like laughing. I'm always doing everything to make everybody happy. But I was in a stage where I was just so sad and so miserable with my life that I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it, but I choose to be happy. I want to be happy with my life. Life is so short. If there's anything that I learned about my dad, it was to live life to the fullest. Treat yourself, because you never know if you're going to be here tomorrow. And it was an example of him, you know. He passed away very young, and he was here one day and gone the next. And he didn't take anything with him, you know. Only his memories, only his life choices. And it applies to you and applies to me as well. We don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. Life is so short. So you can choose to see everything in a negative way. You can be pessimistic. You can be negative about everything that's going on in your life. Or you can find the silver lining and you can choose to be happy. You can choose to change your life around. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, with a little bit of bucana by my side on the hard times. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't become alcoholics. You know, surround yourself by people that love you. Surround yourself by good energy, and have a better outlook on life, because that is the only way that you're gonna get through it. Things are gonna get hard. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to still be angry, but don't get stuck on those emotions, because once you get stuck on those emotions, it's very hard to get out of it. So it is definitely something you have to work on every day, but I promise that it's gonna be worth it, and you're gonna enjoy your life a lot more. So I think that I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I just hope that you guys apply everything that I said into anything that goes on in your life, any tragedies that you've gone through, any heartbreaks that you've gone through, any friendships lost, relationships lost. Hope that you guys apply it to your life. If you guys understood anything that I said, give this video a thumbs up. If this video was helpful at all and you're new to this channel, then make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, and maybe even turn on the notification bell so that you guys are tuned in for my next video and my next Thirsty Thursday and my next drink. I talked so much, I didn't even finish my drink, girl. But I hope that you finished yours. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this super fast and try to get it up by today because I have to. So thank you so much. I love you all, and remember that if you guys are going through anything, any hardships, anything in life, and you need somebody to talk to, my inbox, my DMs on my social media are always open. Go ahead and reach out to me, and I am more than happy to either just listen or give you advice or just be there for you as a friend. And I love you guys all. You guys are my best friends. We are in this together. See you next time.
Like I talk it, walk it like I talk it, walk it like I